wachani na manyonyo. Nataka niwapatie a breakdown of what 1 liter of petrol should realistically cost in Kenya right now, na itakuwa ni purely based on market fundamentals, na hii itakuwa ni before serikali iongeze ushuru. Unacheki, niko na manamba zangu hapa hivi. Now the current global oil price saizi, crude oil ina trade at around 107 to 108 dollars per barrel. Unacheki, in year as of May 18th 2026. Unaona, na tukiangalia Brent crude ni global benchmark yenye most African markets wanatumia. So crude oil ina trade at around 109 dollars per barrel. Tuko sadi hapo. Number 2, wacha tuangalie cost per liter of crude oil. Liter moja crude oil, 1 barrel is equivalent to 159 liters. Sawa? Now tukichukua ile 109 dollars per barrel, tukidivide 159, tutapata crude oil per liter ina cost 0.686 dollars per liter. Tuko sawa hadi hapo. Number 3, wacha tuangalie refining na processing. Tunajua kitu moja, Kenya ina import refined petrol largely from Middle East. Aya, refining margins za petrol per liter ni between 0.1 dollars to 0.15 dollars. So hii ina bring the refined cost to roughly 0.79 to 0.84 dollars per liter. Sawa? Shipping to Kenya, unajua pale hivyo Indian Ocean freight na story na insurance nini. Unaona? So hapo ongeza 0.04 between 0.04 to 0.07 dollars per liter. Hizo sasa ni shipping, insurance nini. Sasa total ya lita moja ya refined oil kuland in Kenya ni between 0.85 to 0.91 dollars. Isa nili mafuta imeland, lita moja ya refined oil imeland Mombasa. Unaona? Wacha sasa to convert into Kenyan shilling, pata lita moja ya hii nini petrol kuland Mombasa ni approximately 110 to 119 Kenyan shillings. Lita moja imeland pale Boma area. Sasa wacha tuangalie sasa inland margins, yani ile. Na kumbuke bado hatujaongeza serikali na ushuru zake. So tuangalie distribution kufika kwa nini inaitwaje, inland depots. Unaona, retailer, tukiangalia madila watakula nini. Hapo hivyo ongeza nini 15 shillings to 25 per liter. 15 shillings to 25 per liter. Unaona? Na hii ni kwa a competitive market. Sijui kama unanipata hadi hapo hivyo. So market price ya Mombasa ya lita moja ya petrol imetoka Mombasa imeingia wapi. Market price inafaa kuwe ni 125 Kenyan shillings to 145. Unajua inategemea tu isa ni per liter jo. So sasa hizi mafuta sijui ni 240 sijui nini. Wewe jua hizo zingine zote ni maushuru serikali imeongezea jo. At least hizo ushajua mafuta ina landing Kenya na pesa ngapi, yani lita moja ya petroli jo. So hii yote ni maushuru serikali imeongeza. Ndio maana mafuta za hizi inachezea sijui nini jo. Mtu asikuingize ati wapi jo. So this is what petrol should reasonably cost in Nairobi, purely on market driven scenario. Sawa? Hizo zingine zote jua ni nini? Ni ushuru.
Hello Kenyans, maandamano, fuel maandamano, because the fuel prices have gone higher. But let's ask yourself this question, let's be real with each other. Did this problem start with President William Samoei Ruto, or did President William Samoei Ruto inherit troubles? This problem of fuel rising and the rising economy in this country did not start with President William Samoei Ruto. It started with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And he left the country in a place where I personally knew it's not going to be easy for President William Samoei Ruto to make everything work within the shortest time possible, even though he made promises to the people of Kenya to ask that he's gonna make everything easy, and he will make sure that the economy of Kenya goes low, and the Kenyans like me and you can afford our daily life. We can afford to take it for whatever we need in our day-to-day life. And that is what President William Samoei Ruto promised, and that is what was his campaign. That was his campaign. That was his campaign strategy, telling Kenyans that, you know what, the government has done that, I'll be doing this and all that. And during the time of Uhuru, had we fuel rising whatever protest? Not so sure about that, if it ever happened. Maybe if I remember, I'll talk about that. So today, today's on what? 18th or 17th, whatever. No, 17th was yesterday. Today is 18th of May 2026, and Kenyans have taken to the streets to protest over the rising prices of fuel, whereas the country leadership says the problem is not Kenya, the problem is not them, the problem is the war between the US, Israel, and Iran that has costed most of the oil producing countries, OPEC, to hike the fuel prices because the production is very low or has gone high for a given reason, because there is a lot of bombardments in that. So let's come back. So is this President Ruto's problem, or what is the problem? What's the main problem with President Ruto? The fuel rising and the rising economy, as I said from the beginning, it's not entirely President Ruto's fault. The only problem that President Ruto has contributed unto this will be that he lied unto Kenyans that he will make the life easy. He will make the Kenyans' life easy and economy affordable to the common Mwananchi, to the common Kenyan. That is the only problem that President William Samoei Ruto has done. He did not tell Kenyans the truth, that it's hard for him to make the economy work. But okay, that is a language every politician uses. It did not start with President William Samoei Ruto. Lying in politics did not start with President William Samoei Ruto. It has always been there. Every politician uses that. Your local MCA will use the same. Your MP will use the same. Your governor will use the same. And all that. So, asking this question, when will we ever get out of this? I'll tell you, not in the near future. Not in the near future. We'll be crying about this. We'll continue crying about this, but we won't get out of this problem in the near future, because we will be inheriting problems. Even if you unseat President William Samoei Ruto today, you will inherit the troubles that Kenyans are going through, and it won't end. Now the troubles will continue. So what's the best way? The best way is the leaders we have to maybe the politicians we have maybe to become leaders and stop looting Kenya and start helping Kenya. Instead of looting Kenya, taking the loot out of this country, they can loot Kenya and develop Kenya. I think that will be the only way this country can achieve the development that we're looking for, the development we're looking for, and maybe to a given extent reduce the economy, life expectancy, the economy of this country, and make it easy for each and every common Kenyan to simply afford their daily upkeep with the little salary that they're getting, because as much as the fuel prices are going higher, the government is not, or the employers are not increasing the salaries of every Kenyan. So that is the problem we're going in. That is the problem we're facing as a country. And if it's not faced with the leaders to accept the fact that they are the reason why this country is missing a lot, they're the reasons why everything's not working, they're the reasons why everyone in this country is complaining of the rising economy of this country, then we'll never ever see the country grow. Someone will ask this question. Now, what's next for this country? As I said earlier, what next for this country will be if the leaders decide to be leaders and help their people, help the country grow, we will have a better Kenya. But if we continue with what I am seeing, that everyone is looting for themselves, looting wherever, getting wherever he can get, and keeping it for himself, looting in every angle, right, left, center, whatever place they see, it will be a culture, because the next breed of leaders will come in, okay, politicians will come in, will still do the same. We'll know looting is the way out, and before we know, Kenya will get itself where Zimbabwe is. Yeah, Kenya will get itself where Zimbabwe is. So it becomes much harder. But all in all, it's a country. It's our country, and we need to make it a better place. So I'll say, I don't know what you think about that, but it is what it is. Leave us a comment in the comment section and tell us what do you think about all this stuff.